قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني وسبحان الله وما أنا من المشركين.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد. Now, let's take a next point that causes confusion. They say Islam permitted this is the people who like to deny wala and bara. They say Islam permitted one to marry a non-Muslim woman. How can he marry and despise her? All these doubts are brought by those who do not, and I know they haven't read a single book in depth on this matter or looked at the tafasir of the ulama in these issues or what the ulama spoke about them. You have love for your religion. If one loves a non-Muslim for his deen, he's a kafir. But then there's a limited conditional love where Islam made an exception or permitted it, and that's al-hub al-fitri al-mawjud fi dhat al-insan. The fitra love, the instinct love that's instilled in you. And it's not just in a wife that's not Muslim. It's in relatives that are not Muslim. Someone may have a mom and a dad who are not Muslim. When Asma, the daughter of Abu Bakr, asked the Prophet ﷺ about her mother, can she visit her? Can she have good relationship with her? First of all, why did she ask? Because she knew overall the principle of wala and bara applies. She wanted to know if this could be an exception. إن أمي قدمت وهي راغبة أفأصلها. The Prophet ﷺ said, نعم صلي أمك. She said, can I maintain good ties with my mother? She's coming to visit me. And that's when the verse was, the Prophet ﷺ said yes, and that's when the verse was revealed. The proof we mentioned for the third category, لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليهم إن الله يحب المقسطين. Allah does not forbid you to deal justly and kindly. Allah does not forbid you to deal justly and kindly with those who fought against you. Allah loves those who deal in equity. Love of a kitabiyya, non-Muslim wife or parents who are non-Muslim is natural love. There's natural love and there's natural hate. Islam recognizes both. Take for example matters that Allah legislated. If you hate a matter, Allah legislated it. Because Allah legislated it, that's kufr, that negates one's belief. But Allah said about matters that He legislated that they're disliked. And He was speaking to the believers. Jihad. كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الْقِتَالُ وَهُوَ كُرْهٌ لَكُمْ. Holy fighting in the cause of Allah is ordained for you. Though you dislike it. Allah said you dislike it. Kurhun lakum. It's a natural, not a religious dislike. It's not the religious dislike some people claim. had it been disliked because it was revealed from Allah, that's kufr. Al-Qurtubi said it's disliked because one leaves his family, one leaves his town, one subjects himself to wounds, loss of limbs, and death. And that's why it's disliked, not because it's a revelation or a command from Allah. It's disliked, but they were considered believers. Now, had they disliked it because it was from Allah, that would have been kufr. So there's a natural dislike that Islam recognizes. Just like there is a natural love that Islam recognizes. Like what we're talking about here. Another example that Islam recognizes natural love or dislike is what the Prophet ﷺ said about wudu. Isbaghul wudu ala al-makarih. Making wudu on the disliked parts. It may be cold, maybe one has to wake up and wash his face and wash up. That's natural dislike. Had it been disliked for wudu because it's commanded by Allah or the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, that would have been a kufr and a negator. But there's a natural dislike. Now that we established that Islam recognizes natural love and natural hate, a man marries a woman from the people of a book. There's going to be natural love. You're going to love your wife, even she's not Muslim. That's natural love. There's no conflict between the natural love and the Sharia love and despise that we have. Look at the love of the Prophet ﷺ to his uncle. إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ. Verily you, Muhammad, will not guide whom you like or you love. But Allah guides whom He wills. According to one opinion, pay attention, according to one opinion, that love here was for his uncle. You can't guide those who you love to guide. The love was his uncle. And that would have been the natural love. Like the love of a man for his non-Muslim wife, his parents, and relatives that are non-Muslim. I adopt the other opinion by other mufassirin who said that love in this verse is the love that Allah guides him. Other mufassirin said that. They said the meaning of the verse is إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ هِدَايَتَهُ. Meaning the verse, they said, means you guide not whom you love to be guided. His love was for guidance for him, not for he himself. But even if we adopt the first opinion of the mufassirin, it would be the natural love that we're talking about here. The natural love for parents of Muslim, non-Muslim parents of some Muslim. His mom gave birth to him. His dad took care of him. There's going to be natural love. That natural love may not entail acceptance of what they do in disobedience to Allah. And that part you got to hate it. He doesn't go and carry their crosses or wears it around his neck or condone or participate in any of those rituals or activities. He doesn't go to his parents for dinner and sit on a dinner table, and if they want to initiate a prayer to Jesus, to Isa alayhi salam, he sits. No, he doesn't sit. There's natural love, but he jumps up and walks away when they want to. His Sharia love and his wala to Allah is overwhelms the love for the natural love for his parents. He will walk away because he doesn't want the curse of Allah to befall on him while they're supplicating to Isa. When the love of Allah is put at a test, the natural love like that of a parent or a spouse, of a wife, submerges, and the real ultimate love of Allah surfaces, leaving no traces of that natural love. Let me conclude with the story that explains the whole issue of natural love. The head of the hypocrites in Medina, he had a son who was one of the dearest and greatest Sahaba. Both the father and the son's name was Abdullah. Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Abi Salul. Both the father and the son's name was Abdullah. The father Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Abi Salul seen a dispute among the Sahaba in the battle of Bani al-Mustaliq. And as the hypocrites always do, they try to blow it out of proportion and instigate problems within this ummah to create divisions. He said, وَاللَّهِ لَإِنْ رَجَعْنَا إِلَى الْمَدِينَةِ لَيُخْرِجَنَّ الْأَعَزُّ مِنْهَا الْأَذَلِ. Allah quoted a portion of that statement in the Quran, in Surah Al-Munafiqun. If we return to Medina, indeed the honorable, he's talking about himself, Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Abi Salul, the honorable me, the chief of the hypocrites, who was the chief of the hypocrites, will expel the low one, Al-Adhal, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He called him the low one. When the Prophet was told of this, he summoned the hypocrites, who gave oath after oath. They lied in their oath that they never said any of that. So the Prophet ﷺ, judging by what's apparent, let it go. He can only judge by that which is apparent. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And that's a lesson to us, to judge only by that which is apparent. And he's the Prophet of Allah. His son went to the Prophet ﷺ and listened carefully. He said, O Prophet of Allah, the people of Medina will tell you there is no man more dutiful than me to his father. And if it pleases you, Ya Allah, I will bring you my father's head. The son was a great Sahabi. Ya Allah, bring you my father's head. The summit peak of wala and bara. Yet there was natural love. Wala and bara, but there was natural love. Of course, the Prophet ﷺ deterred him from killing his father. He said, بَلْ نَرْفِقُ بِهِ وَنَحْسُنْ صُحْبَتَهُ مَا بَقِيَ فِينَا. The Prophet ﷺ will be good to him as long as he is living amongst us. And this is from the kindness and wisdom of the Prophet ﷺ. That shows you how one can have natural love, yet at the same time have a strong belief in wala and bara. At the same time, when they got to Medina, he went to his father and he said, you will not shade in Medina nor step a foot in there until the Prophet ﷺ gives you permission. You are the low one and the Prophet ﷺ is the honorable. And again, he went to the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ let him go, told him let him go to his house safely, and told him not to harm him. It shows you how you can have both. In an extended narration of this, he said, فَوَاللَّهِ لَقَدْ عَالِمَتِ الْخَزْرَجُ مَا كَانَ لَهَا مِنْ رَجُلٍ أَبَرَّ بِوَالِدِهِ مِنِّي إِنِّي أَخْشَى أَن تَأْمُرَ بِهِ غَيْرِي فَيَقْتُلَهُ فَلَا تَدَعُنِي نَفْسِي أَنْ أَنظُرَ إِلَى قَاتِلِ عَبْدُ اللَّهِ بْنِ أُبَيْ يُمْسِي فِي النَّاسِ فَأَقْتُلَ مُؤْمِنًا بِكَافِرٍ فَأَدْخُلَ النَّارِ. He said, the Khazraj, wallahi, will tell you, there is not a man more dutiful to his father than me. If you are going to order someone to kill him, let it be me. I fear that I will not be able to handle seeing a killer of Abdullah. Look, I will not be able to see a killer of Abdullah bin Ubay. And then he named his father by name. He didn't say my father. I will not be able to see a killer of Abdullah bin Ubay. And I'll see that killer. And then I'll see him walking around in Medina. And I'll see that killer who's a believer. You ordered him to kill. And then I'll end up killing him out of, anger of him killing my father. So if you want anyone to kill my father, let it be me. And I don't want to kill a believer for killing my father. There's natural love. But there's the ultimate Sharia love that is part of wala and bara. Islam recognizes natural love, as we have said, but it's restrained and it's controlled. But when love of Allah is put at the test, the natural love submerges and the real ultimate love to Allah surfaces, leaving no traces for natural love.